Welcome everyone back home there. You're welcome to learnCity. Today we'll be looking at a crash course and study on preparation for Jamb in the subject economics. So we're going to be looking at different past questions and different ways in which examiners have tested students in times past. I want to believe that you're going to enjoy the video. Please join me as we move on. We'll be looking at economics as a science. Actually, we look at this in the Jamb syllabus. This is the chapter 1 of the Jamb syllabus. So we're looking at economics as a science and the basic concepts in economics. The concepts that makes up economics, the relevant concepts that needs to be understood in proceeding further in economics. So I want you to join me and see what we have in package for you. We're taking our first question. That's going to be taking our first question. That's going to be according to 1978 question number 2 as tested by Jamb. The question says, economics is called a social science because it is dash. Very simple question. Economics is called a social science. Why is economics called a social science? Because it is dash. Actually, when you look at all the options that is being provided there, they are actually attributes of economics. They are features of economics in one way or the other. But there will always be one answer that best suits the question. In every option you are given, there will always be one answer that best suits the question. Let's look at it. Option A says, because economics is a branch of social studies. Because economics is a branch of social studies. Option B says, because economics is a study of the ways. Listen, study of the ways a man devises to satisfy his unlimited wants from limited resources. The first one says, because is an example of social study. Is a branch of social study. While the next option says that economics is actually a way in which man devises to actually satisfy his unlimited wants from his limited resources. Another option says is a dismal science in the Malthusian sciences. It's a dismal science in the Malthusian sense. While option D says because it is governed by scientific laws. And option E says because it is the study of human wants by means of scientific methods of observation. According to what I said, all these options are features of economics in one way or the other. But there is one that suits the question. Now, economics is a branch of social study. Actually, this is a bit correct, but not fully correct. Social study is a subject on its own, is a discipline on its own, is a course on its own. While economics is also a subject on its own that study human behaviors. Any subject that studies human behavior is referred to as social. Anything that studies interrelationship between human beings are referred to as social. But economics is not a branch of social study. I need you to get that. Another thing, let's look at option C. It says it's a dismal science in the Malthusian sense. Actually, this actually corroborates in the fact that economics is actually a science. But this does not infer the fact that it is a social science. I need you to get two things. Economics as being referred to as a social science is the coalition of two words, social and science. Science simply refers to the fact that it uses some scientific principles. It uses some scientific concept which governs its assumptions or its operations. But the word social means it studies human relationship, but using and borrowing scientific principles in postulating its assumptions. So in this sense, looking at it from the angle of a science alone is not going to satisfy the question. The next option says because it's governed by scientific laws. Don't forget what I said. This is actually correct. I did mean the question says economics is a science because it is dash. This will have been very correct because actually economics is a science because it actually utilizes scientific laws and principles. But this does not make it a social science. Now, option E says it is the study of human wants by means of scientific methods of observation. Actually, if you look at this, to some extent, is correct. It studies human want by means of scientific methods of observation. Now, if you still remember, there are different rules and different systems that makes up the scientifics. We have observation, we have experimentation, we have conclusion, and every of those. But don't forget, economics is not only on the study of human wants. Economics studies more than human wants. It studies, apart from want, it studies needs, it studies scarcity, it studies scale of preference, it studies is broad. Actually, it's divided into macro and microeconomics. But I will not be going there for today. So the only option that fits in this is option what? Well, let's see what the presentation is going to prefer to us as option. Correct answer is what? Okay. B. Economics is a study of the ways man, don't forget I said that any study that actually deals with the interrelationship between human beings is what we call social. So because it devises scientific method, that's why we refer to it as a social science. So economics is actually the study of ways man devises to satisfy ease. What brings in economics? Because there are unlimited wants, unlimited needs, but there are few resources. There are limited resources. The resources are scarce. So in proportion to actually satisfy and to bring to a point of equilibrium, these limited wants and limited resources give birth to economics as a social science. Thank you.